Hi friends, I really have been wanting to do this video for a really long time, and it is about our most important factor of our health, our sleep. Doesn't matter how many good foods we're putting into our body, doesn't matter how many supplements we're putting into our body, doesn't matter anything else. If we are not sleeping, we won't be absorbing our nutrients and we won't be able to properly process any of the herbs or supplements or anything that we're taking. So number one needs to be sleep, and it is such a common thread that I see in my clinic that people are not sleeping properly. So I wanted to go through my 5 top sleeping tips. Number one is Montmorency sour cherries. Now, what they contain is something called melatonin. And melatonin is something that naturally we create in our bodies to help us get a really restful night's sleep. But when we're not sleeping properly, sometimes it's due to not actually creating enough melatonin. So sour Montmorency cherries are a natural source of melatonin. So you can either get capsules with powdered Montmorency cherries in them, or you can actually get the Montmorency cherry juice. Now, I keep saying Montmorency because it's not all cherries that have this amount of melatonin that will actually help with sleep. It's only the sour Montmorency cherries. So that's tip number one. Tip number 2 is actually something that I keep adjusting on my face, which is blue blocking glasses. Now, blue blocking glasses, what they do is they block out the blue lights that we're exposed to in our modern environment. So from TVs, from mobile phones, from computers, just out in general. I mean, we've got so many electronic devices around us at all times these days. So it is a really good idea to block out the blue ones, because what that does is it activates the part of our nervous system that keeps us awake at night. And what it can also do is it can actually throw out our sleep-wake cycle. So we'll want to sleep later during the day, then when it gets too late, we'll start waking up again. And I see this all the time with my adrenal fatigue patients. So blue blocking glasses, guys, they're a good investment. Number 3. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know this is one of my absolute favorite things in the whole world is essential oils. And there are some very specific ones that are good for sleep. Number 1, and I'm sure everybody would have heard of this one, lavender. So lavender is very good at calming down that nervous system. So before you get your blue blocking glasses and things in, there's a lot of stimulation going on in our daily lives, whether it's, bad traffic, or whether it's too much work on the computer, or just daily stress. We tend to get a lot more wound up than our predecessors would have been. So lavender is very good at calming down the brain, calming down the nervous system, and allowing us to truly relax. And there has been a lot of scientific studies that have proven this. So there's that one. The second one is vetiver, and vetiver is so thick and just delicious. It's honestly, when it comes out, the consistency is like honey. So it's really thick, it's really earthy. So if you think about lavender being one that kind of consoles you, reduces your anxiety, vetiver is that ground. It's bringing you back down to earth. It's a very kind of, it's like a hug from dad if lavender was a hug from mum. It's really a masculine scent, but it's very calming. They call it sleeping pills in a bottle, in a liquid form. So it is essential oil sleeping pill in a bottle. It's amazing. It's really good. The third one that I really love, and I actually use this one together with lavender as a little sleep bomb, is frankincense. So frankincense is a really good anti-anxiety oil. it really, really works well while you're sleeping, because what it does is when you're breathing it in, it actually reduces inflammation in your brain, which can actually make you feel more anxious and throw out your sleeping cycle. So frankincense with lavender, those two together, they are amazing, really good oils. Some other ones that I won't talk about in depth but are also really good for sleep are lemongrass, rose, and spikenard especially. It's really, really good. So the fourth thing that I wanted to talk to you about is sleep-inducing food. So I've already talked about the Montmorency cherries specifically because of their melatonin content, but there is another factor in food that's really good for sleep, and that's tryptophan. Now, tryptophan is something that increases serotonin in our body, and serotonin is our happy hormone. It increases our feeling of happiness, of joy, of playfulness. So increasing those happy, joyful, at peace kind of feelings, therefore kind of indirectly affects the quality of sleep that we're all going to have that night. So some really good tryptophan rich foods that you can get into your diet is good old banana. Everybody loves a banana. Turkey is a very, very good source of tryptophan. The other thing that's good about turkey is it's high protein, which we need to be able to create those beautiful neurotransmitters that help us with the sleep. And the third one is cashew nuts. So if anybody's vegan and they're looking for a different source of tryptophan and protein in one, cashew nuts is a really good source. So a good way of using cashews, if you're not into just eating the cashews, is you can make a cashew, like a fermented cashew cheese, and just add it on the side of all of your food. It works so well at getting that tryptophan into our bodies and giving us those happy hormones. So far we've got the blue blocking glasses, we've got the essential oils, we've got the Montmorency cherries, and we've got the tryptophan rich foods. Now, the next one is not going to be anything groundbreaking, but it works so well. And it's grounding, guys. So getting out and touching nature, it rejigs our whole sleep cycle. So particularly in the morning, if you can get out on the bare ground, get your feet on the ground, get that morning sun on your face, get that beautiful morning vitamin D, because the sun in the morning is the one that's going to give you the most vitamin D through the day. Around the middle, you actually goes the opposite way. It's not so great for us. So the morning and the end of the day, really good for vitamin D. But having that combination of the sun and our feet on the ground, we actually have an exchange of electrons between our feet and the ground, and it just kind of recalibrates our body. And what having that morning sun does on top of the vitamin D is it literally tells our body it is time to wake up. It's morning time, it's time to get moving. And then if you can do the same on the opposite end of the day, so by getting out and watching the sunset, it tells our brain that it's time to go to bed. So grounding with our feet on the ground, but also watching that sun coming up, going down, it will reset your whole body. So guys, they are my main tips for a really good quality sleep. Let me know how you go with them. If you have any more questions or anything more specific, or if you've read about something that you're unsure about, please feel free to send me a message. I'm here to help. And remember that health, well-being, and beauty starts from the inside out.